We're going to be talking about supplements. This is on the series of how to be happy, specifically physical health. We covered before diet and nutrition. Today we're covering supplements. So quick disclaimer, none of this is medical advice. Please consult your local drug dealing doctor. And why is this important? Okay, do you want to live for as long as possible? Do you want to never get sick or get a cold or get fever ever again? Then you need to listen. This is the precursor to all physical health, but diet is first. So you go get your diet in check and supplements are second. But I think this is really, really important. This will work for most people, but you do need to find out where you're at. So obviously get a blood test if you haven't already. And I think, in my opinion, I think that this can solve most mental health and physical health issues you may have and get you off medication. The power of diet and supplementation is incredible. Okay, everything is linked. Okay, I'm not going to go through this in detail, but your diet and your supplementation is linked to your physical health. It's linked to how you partition nutrients in your body. It's linked to your hormones, and they're all linked to each other. So everything has to be worked on. You can't just do one of these things. There is no silver bullet, but it's really important. Okay, hormones. Why are they critical? Why does this affect hormones, and why do they matter? There's many hormones in the body, but there's two that really matter for you: testosterone and cortisol. Testosterone is basically it does many things, but I kind of think of it as build muscle, make you feel amazing, make you feel strong, make you feel really positive and optimistic, and help you burn fat hormone. That's how I think about it. Cortisol is the stress hormone. It does the opposite. The other thing about cortisol is that when it stores that fat around your stomach, it actually gets exponentially worse over time. It wants to store more of that fat over time. There's this quote here I'll quickly read out. So testosterone promotes the partitioning of nutrients into muscles, while the stress hormone cortisol has the opposite effect. When you have high cortisol levels, you get muscle breakdown and enhanced partitioning of nutrients into fat cells around your waist and your abdomen. Another kind of partitioning you don't want. So what about insulin? You may have heard about insulin and its importance. Okay. Insulin sensitivity is really important. Many of us are insulin insensitive and on the verge of being diabetic, but the source of this problem really is diet. Now, there's a link in the description to the previous video, which was on diet and nutrition and fasting. The TLDR, the too long don't read, summary is basically eat relatively low carb, moderate fat, high protein, which basically means meat, fish, eggs, and green vegetables, and fast regularly, and you will fix most of the insulin problems, especially if you're type 2. So, okay, we're going to go through the supplements. I'm going to go through them as a list, but if you don't get anything else from this video, take this. Vitamin D is number one. I cannot stress the importance of vitamin D enough. I'm going to play a few quick clips from a video, and I will see you on the other side.
That are deficient in vitamin D. And it's a steroid hormone. It gets converted into a hormone. Wow. Like, this isn't just a vitamin, you know? It's important. It's really important.
As you saw there, it actually turns into a hormone. Imagine walking around without testosterone in your body. This is the importance of vitamin D. The next thing, which may be for some of the people watching this, not for everyone, the equator rule that we talked about in the previous video for diet also applies here to vitamin D. So I will also play another clip, but just high level. If your genetics are from closer to the equator, or the closer they are from the equator, but the further you live away from the equator, the higher your risk of immune issues. This means getting sick regularly, or getting sick easily, or frankly speaking, dying from things like the C word that we've had over the last few years. This is really, really, really important. I'm just going to play this quick clip, and I'll see you on the next side.
States. As you mentioned, you make it from the sun, so particularly UVB radiation. There's a reason why I want to talk about this. You make it from UVB radiation exposure. You know, basically it's made in the skin. And But, there's certain times of the year, depending on where you live in a more northern latitude, where that UVB isn't even hitting the atmosphere. So you're not making vitamin D. Also, if you have darker skin, melanin protects you. Like the whole, people with darker skin, people from maybe Africa or India or South Asia, they're more equatorial regions. They're closer, closer to the equator, and there's more UVB radiation throughout the year. And so as a protective mechanism to not get burned, you have melanin, which protects you, right? The problem is that melanin also blocks your ability to produce vitamin D. But if you're out in the sun all the time, in a place where you're getting UVB radiation, it's not a problem.
Well, this is the very reason why people in places like Scotland and England have such pale skin.
Exactly.
Because it's cloudy all the time, so your body sort of develops its own ability to absorb more vitamin D.
Exactly. So what happens when you take what happens when you take a person from South Asia, from India, from Africa, and you put them in Sweden or in Minnesota or in the UK? And a place where UVB radiation doesn't hit most of the year, and you don't give them a supplement. What happens is they become severely vitamin D deficient.
So as you saw there, Dr. Rhonda Patrick was talking about exactly what I mentioned. This is really, really important. Again, if you don't get anything else from this video, get this. Vitamin D is number one. Okay, and the strength matters a lot. If you talk to your doctor and you speak to the local health providers, they will tell you dosages that basically make hardly any difference. Okay, so high strength matters. 4,000 to 5,000 IUs. So when you look on Amazon is where I buy all of my stuff from. I don't have any links to give you. There's no referrals, so you just go Google it yourself or search on Amazon. When you search for vitamin D3, you want to get the highest strength. So when they're advertised, just make sure it's at least 4,000 IUs. Ideally 5,000. I can't get 5,000 IUs in Italy for some reason. I can only get 4,000, so that's what I take. Okay, now let's go for the full list. This is really important. So number one, vitamin D3. We've already covered that. Extends lifespan, strong immune system, stop getting sick regularly, many other benefits. Again, what I'm listing here is high level and is a summary. There is a very long list, but this video would be too long to cover everything. Number two, magnesium. Magnesium, you do not take this in the day, you take this just before you go to bed. This is amazing for sleep. Amazing for sleep and reducing stress, making you feel calm. It reduces cortisol, it does many things, but it's a precursor to testosterone. So very important for men. Zinc. Zinc, we get this from meat, but it's really, really important. It reduces inflammation in the body, increases your immune health, your skin health, and again, a precursor to testosterone. Really important. Okay, this one, fish oil. I've been supplementing with a really high dose of this for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And it is so strange. I am losing body fat and I'm building muscle at the same time. And this has never happened in my life. So I don't know if this is a temporary thing. It's going to keep going. But so far it's working pretty amazing. I got this from Charles Poliquin, who's unfortunately not with us anymore. But he recommended a long time ago, maybe even 20 years ago, that people take extremely high doses of this. And people laughed him out of the room. And then a bunch of physicians and doctors tried this and they've noticed over time with their clients, they've seen a ton of benefits. I think ultimately what this does, it isn't like a secret weapon, but I think what it does is it reduces cortisol in the body. It increases insulin sensitivity. And as a result, this causes more fat loss. I don't know whether it's doing other things in the body, but it's definitely working for me. The other thing it does mentally is it makes me feel better. If I don't take it and then I do take it, there is a noticeable difference in how I feel mentally. The other thing it does is obviously reduce inflammation. The balance of omega-3s to omega-6s is really important, but we don't need to get into that. Okay, vitamin K2. Many benefits. Really important to take with vitamin D3, but most importantly is bone density. So bone density is a serious issue for, as you get older, your bones gradually I guess, a decrease in bone density. And this is why. This is basically what, there's a long cascade of issues, but there's muscle atrophy. But the way that we live as we get older is really stupid. We stop lifting weights, we stop working out, our muscles break down, our bones get weaker, we fall over, we break a bone very easily. We then end up in bed, and our health reduces, and then, unfortunately, we pass away from multiple organ failure. We don't really die from old age. We die from what I just described. So you can fight that by having high bone density and obviously many other factors, but bone density is really important. The other way that you increase bone density is lifting heavy weights. This doesn't mean lifting 200 kilos or doing crazy stuff. This just means lifting your body weight, between your body weight to 1.5 your body weight, whether it's a squat, a deadlift, a bench press, an overhead press, and you'll just increase your bone density. This is really, really, really important. Injuries, many other factors, problems that people have come from, frankly, a lack of strength. So yeah, bone density, vitamin K2. Okay, vitamin C. I don't need to list the amount of benefits of vitamin C. You should know by now. But I take a pretty high dose. This is 2,000 milligrams, 2 grams. Really, really important. Again, I'm not going to go through the long list. So, okay, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, I was originally recommended to take vitamin B12 a very long time ago, maybe even 10 years ago, and it was to do with overtraining. So, training in the gym it stops the feeling of fatigue and being tired. So you just have higher energy because you don't feel tired. So it helps blood health. Okay, quercetin. Long list again, but it's an antioxidant and it reduces inflammation, which as a result stops you getting a cold and getting sick. I've been taking this now for, I think, 2.5 years, and touch wood, I haven't been sick since. So ginger and black pepper. It's mostly turmeric, this supplement I take. This reduces inflammation, which in turn helps recovery from workouts. Now, I changed the dosage on this. I take 1,000 milligrams daily, and then after I do jiu-jitsu, which is quite grueling on the body and the joints, and you're twisting and turning in weird ways, which obviously you can cause damage to your joints. I take a higher dosage, and I do that when I come back, and I train in the evening. What I noticed is if I do not take a higher dose, it affects my sleep, because I think after the workout, all my hormones are ramped up. I've probably got a higher cortisol, stress hormone. I take this, it really benefits me, and I seem to recover much better now than I did in the past. Okay, last one, BCAAs. This is branched chain amino acids, and specifically leucine. I take 5 to 10 grams of this a day. I can't remember the exact amount, but roughly speaking, this is, if I remember correctly, taking this dose is roughly like taking 40 to 50 grams of protein without the calories. So this allows me to get, this is what, when you eat protein, this is what it's broken down into, is these amino acids, which then are used for muscle protein synthesis and help to build muscle. But most importantly, it stops your muscles from being broken down. And it increases HGH, which is human growth hormone, which obviously helps you grow. So really important. Is there anything else? There is some other supplements, but these are the most important ones. These are the ones that make all the difference. Again, in summary, if there was one thing I wanted you to take away from this video, it would be vitamin D3. A high dose, order it today and take it. It's really, really important for your health. Now, I have been taking these supplements for many years, but recently, because of this channel and because I've been thinking about it, I've been taking these consistently, and 100% there has been an increase in my testosterone. Now, I need to do some blood tests. I need to check, but at the moment, all I want to do is kick a door down. I have so much energy, and it's hard to put into words, but it's more like a power is the word I would use. But I'm I'm hitting new PRs for strength. Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm also having better sleep as well. So, which in turn affects testosterone. So, really, really important. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to continue to be consistent because I'm getting so much benefit from this. So I hope you do the same too. And I hope this was valuable. If it was valuable, please subscribe if you're not already. Share this with more people because I think this stuff's really important. And, you know, I have to watch and learn about this stuff over years and years. And I've just basically compressed and summarized this into a short video. So I think more people need to see this kind of thing. And I'm surprised the amount of people that don't know about, frankly, diet and nutrition and fasting, but supplements. It's crazy, really. You know, our health is the baseline of everything. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.